Seems today no broadcast can survive with just audio alone. GJRB on Spreaker will always be there, but now GJRB has gone visual with the GJRB YouTube channel. Subscribe today and see live streaming of the Garyj Wrestling program, Way Out There, Sports Page, and radio and television classics. Also, many other specials along the way too, including a video version of News and Comment and a video message from Pastor Ron Johnston from Christian Community Fellowship Church. Yes, GJRB is now visual. Subscribe to the GJRB YouTube channel. It's free. Just log on to YouTube and type in Garyj Wrestling in the search engine. Coming soon. Watch or listen to GJRB on the new GJRB website, GJRB TV, on YouTube, on your computer, on your TV. Subscribe today. Watch, pray, for you not know what hour the Son of God will return. Prophecy, New World Order, terrorism, economic collapse, wars, pandemics, Israel. When they say peace, then cometh sudden destruction. Volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, signs in the heavens. Keep up with world news and events you hear on GJRB's News on the Hour. Go to End Time Headlines at www.endtimeheadlines.org. With a lot of chaos happening, keep in touch with End Time Headlines and GJRB. After 1 year, the wait is over. Now join Pastor Ron Johnston and a panel of men and women to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy. In this world of chaos and upheaval, this is the program that puts it all into perspective. How will we survive? God only knows. So trust him and listen to the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast or live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB.
That sound more like everyone else than anyone else. Hey, all right, it's Kid Casper.
Spreaker is the website which turns anyone into a radio DJ. Log on to Spreaker.com for listening to thousands of radio channels and start creating your own radio today.
All right, back on the air with Garyj Sports Page on GJRB Online, and I posted this as just Garyj Sports Page. Usually, as you see me mark it when I come on, usually title the program Garyj Sports Page 012316 Part 3, Part 4, what have you. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just leave it with no part number. And the reason for that is, in case I decide I want to stay on the air a little longer, I'll put a no part number. And if I end the show at this part, for example, then at the end of the program, I'll just tack in final part and then in the edit. In other words, I go into Spreaker, I edit my title, and I'll say final part. And then I'll rename it, and then I will it'll save it, and the Spreaker will update the name on the site, so that when I'm done with the program, I decide I'm done with the program for today, it'll just be called Garyj Sports Page 012316 final part Or if I decide I'm going to stay on an extra half hour or so, then I will add part 4, which is what this is really. And then the next part I do, it'll be the final part. So this half hour is the teeter-totter point where if I don't get a response, no calls, no nothing, no text, no chat, no anything, I just call it quits. Now, I know it sounds childish, maybe. Why am I not getting the responses or the listenership? You tell me what's wrong with this program. I can fix it. Yeah, I got that half-hour segments. I pretty much eliminated that 15-minute wait that you had before I came back on. Okay. I eliminated that by downloading the Spreaker Studio to my computer, and I could stay on the air. I could go right back on the air after I had the last break. I could go right back on. And I'm going to improve on that. I am going to improve on that. I have an idea of using the web-based DJ console yet. I still have it. I'm still going to use it. And I'm going to flip between the web-based and the mixer, the Spreaker Studio. And I can shuffle between those two. I can come right back on after I get done. I can just go right in there and continue for a full straight hour without stopping. I'm going to try it on the next Garyj Wrestling program, February 5th, rather. I'm thinking about trying that. And I might be able to stay on longer. Like I said before, I can't afford right now the Spreaker Premium, which would give me 45 minutes. I like to do either Anchorman, which I think that's the one I was interested in. I think it's Air Talent is the one I'm interested in, which I think is 45 minutes for recording time and 100 hours of space. And if I were to get that, it would give me more room for my podcast. And even if I have 10 hours of podcast, which I'm really headed to today. But I could be able to keep on broadcasting because I'll have hours and hours more to use up before my space is expired. I would love to do that. At least I could be on this week. I'd be able to do the Positive Rock Show, I'd be able to do the Garyj Wrestling program next week. But like I said before, it's my choice even if I did have it, because right now I want to revamp for next month when I have my February programming. Now, it's the wrap-up of our winter season. And I'm going to be talking about that. Remember, this week I'm going to be recording the GJRB Schedule Update podcast. So I'm going to be working on that in production Monday. I've got to work on the rest of my schedule for February and look at my March one, including the premiere of Garyj in the afternoon and the last episode, the last of Up and Coming. So I have that coming up. And I'll be bringing it to you here on GJRB. Last Up and Coming in February. And I'll give you the full schedule on the GJRB Schedule Update podcast next weekend. As a matter of fact, I'll give you the podcast load for next week while I'm thinking about it. It's going to be what was supposed to be up this week. But since I ran out of room for this because of yesterday's and today's broadcast pretty much filled up Spreaker, my 10-hour space for right now. So when I get done with this half hour, more than likely it's going to be the last for today. Because I don't have the room to do extra time. Really, I don't. I could get rid of some stuff. I have some podcasts that were just music, and that was our up-and-coming favorites. And I don't, like, right now I am thinking that I have enough room to do that. But at this time, I'm not sure. I mean, I'd like to be able to do that. And stay on the air a little longer. But I have to look at my Spreaker site and say, hey, do I have the room to do this? So, what I'm going to do is make that decision right now at 5 minutes to 4 Central Time. Okay? Now, I have a way of doing that. And like I said before, if I have to delete a podcast, I will re-upload it anyway. And it's also available on the GJRB channel on YouTube. I'm recording this and it's going on YouTube. So subscribe to the GJRB channel on YouTube and you can continue to listen to this program and other broadcasts on Spreaker. Okay? And I can go ahead and delete stuff off if I do that. And sometimes I do that. You know, I'll take some stuff off to make room for other things. And I'll look at my episode lineup and I'll decide what goes. And I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to go in there and decide what goes on. No, I don't want it. Did I click that one? No, I don't want that. Okay. Don't want that. I want to click on episodes here. Okay, I want to go there. Okay. It shows I still have 2 hours left. But I won't know exactly how many hours left I'll have after this segment. So let's keep on going. You hear about this one? Oregon State player was tossed after apparently tripping a referee. Yeah, knocking a referee down. Oregon State forward Jarmel Reed was unhappy with the call. The call that was made by an official, Tommy Nunes, late in the game on a Utah game on Sunday, stuck out his leg and tripped a referee. Nunes ran out of the court okay, but we'll say Reed apparently tripped the ref because that's what's supposed to say, what we're supposed to say, but just look at the video. There's a video of this. They call it the hokey pokey play. Yeah, Reed stuck his leg out. Hokey pokey, think about that. That's what it's all about. After stealing the ball from Utah's Jacob Poletti, Reed tried dribbling. But a lunging Poletti seemed to bump Reed, and the Beavers forward fell on the floor. Reed stared at Nunes after there was no whistle. Reed was given a Flagnet 2 foul rejection from Oregon State. Oregon State lost 59-53. What do you think of that? Well, you know, that's a proper call. Okay, you know, if you trip a referee, there you go. I mean, duh. What do you expect? Really? What do you expect? I mean, this is what you get. All right, you trip a referee, you're gonna get here. And gotta tell you, kind of crazy. Really is. You know, you trip a referee, you're gonna. What do you expect? You're gonna get called on it, right? That's what happened in Oregon State. Referee was tripped. There you go. Oh well. You know, that's what you expect. Come on now. You know? Anyway, your opinions are welcome here. Come on now. 563-241-6114. On Skype, Gary.Russin. And in the GJRB chat room here on Spreaker. Okay. All right. What we're going to do right now is I'm going to go into my scroll through social media. Okay. Okay, that's not the one. All right. Let's go back to that. Okay. I'm going to... All right, because it's already there. Duh! When you leave it open, it's gonna be already there. Okay. This way, I don't have to click it. I just go and do that. I'm gonna copy that while I'm thinking about it, so I can just go right into it. Let's see. It's under the Garyj Russin program. Scroll through social media. Here it is. I'm going to do a copy-paste in my, and I'm going to put it in the stuff for automation, too. Okay. This way, I'll have it in either place. See what I mean? That's simple. It's just, without having to go and look for it. You know what I mean? So now it's time to... Wait, let me see. Okay, I forgot to turn it up on the... Okay, here we go. Let's do this again. Here we go. It's time...
Now, let's scroll through social media.
Alrighty, let's do it right now while we got that chance. We've got to go into my Facebook and take a look at 4:02 in the Central Time Zone on Gary J Sports Page here on GJRB Online. 5:02 in the East... It is 2 minutes past 2 o'clock in California and Nevada. I'm Garyj J. Russin. You're listening to Gary J. Sports Page on GJRB Online, Clinton, Iowa, in the Midwest. I'm glad you could be with me today. I'm glad you have a good time listening to the program wherever you are in the internet. GJRB Online on Spreaker and the Garyj Russin program. And all our great talk programs here on GJRB. This one, way out there, Garyj J Sports Page. This one, way out there in the Garyj Russin program here on GJRB. And I'm going down the page and see if we can find some sports stories and other stuff to talk about. And see what anybody might be replying on the internet. And see if we get some responses. I like that. Stephen Mucha, how you doing today? You listening today, bud? Oh, I like that. They got this guy on a bike, and connected to his bike is a shovel. So is this to shovel sidewalks? What a neat invention. I'd get that for my bike. I like that. Shovel right in front of a bike. I like that. That's cool. I'm going to go down the page a bit now. Let's go a little bit here. What's this? I'm on there an episode of Three's Company before Suzanne Summers and Joyce Wet were cast. They got one on here. Posted by John C. bought of the Classic TV Lovers Haven. I have to watch that. That's weird. I like that. Lizard warning. Okay. I forgot to put the B on. That reminds me of a WKRP episode, by the way. Okay. Here's one. The 2016 travel goal. Press now. Okay. Travel goal. Okay. They go too fast. Come on. That's a little too fast. Eggs. What's eggs? What is that? What the heck? Oh, I like it, but it's weird, okay? All right. All right, let's see. Well, it goes too fast. How do you expect to click that, huh? Okay, let's go down the page. I'm just going to ignore that one, okay, for now. I don't know what that is. Anyway, let's go down the ways and see if there's any sports stories and other things. Just political stuff, basically. That's all there is here today. Oh, by the way, I guess Hillary Clinton's back here in Clinton again. I heard that about just before I came on the air today on our local station, KROS. Apparently, Hillary is in town again for another. She spoke at around 1:30 our time at another school here in Clinton. Wow, twice. For one politician, twice visited Hillary Clinton in Clinton, Iowa. How about that? Wow. All right. Anyway, it's Gary J Sports Page on GJRB Online on Spreaker. We're getting to the end of this segment. So I'm going to call the next part. This will be part 4. The next one's going to be a short, abbreviated one. And it will be probably our schedule. And then we're going to call it quits for today. The Gary J Sports Page will be over. Okay. Because I'm just not getting the responses that I was hoping I'd get. People out and about, it's the weekend. What do you expect? Anyway, okay, I want to click here and see if we can get a response here somewhere. I'm going to refresh that. 563-241-6114. And another one I wanted to talk about before day's over was Pete Rose. What do you think of that? Should we let bygones be bygones when it comes to Pete Rose? I mean, he gambled on that game how long ago? He gambled on baseball how long ago? Wasn't that? How long ago? Like I said, I was at school when that happened. You know, my dad kind of never liked Pete Rose. But he's been inducted into the Hall of Fame for the Reds. But he is not being inducted into the MLB Hall of Fame. What do you think of that? Well, you know, like I said before, if you really look at it, Pete Rose made his mistake. And I'm sure God's forgiven him if he's asked Christ for forgiveness. You know. But if he asked Christ for forgiveness, then we should also forgive. as Christians in America. I'm guilty of it myself. Okay? I'm guilty of it myself. I had to forgive people. God told me to do that. And I've forgiven my sisters and my family. Everybody that's trespassed against me. I've forgiven them. Always have. But it's right now, I think that we should forgive Pete Rose too. You know? It's time. Let's think about inducting him into the MLB Hall of Fame. I think it's about time, don't you? Let's induct this man in the Hall of Fame. I think it's about right to give this guy an extra shot. Okay, so like I said before, even when I'm off the air, there's always time to make your responses. I always check my Spreaker sites, and I always check all my social sites for replies on what I talk about here. So if you are listening to this podcast and you want to reply, leave me it right on my GJRB Spreaker site. If you're listening on Spreaker, all you got to do is hit that balloon and leave me a message in the chat room. And I'll answer it for you right off the bat. I'll answer it whenever I see it, and I'll respond, and I'll read it on the air on the next program, which will be the Garyj Wrestling program in a couple of weeks. You know, I'm thinking about trying something. I'm going to start going around and getting guests lined up for this program. Because I really think that I could get responses if I get somebody as a guest to be on this program with me. So that I can get more responses. That I can have someone to talk to when I'm on the air here. Because every once in a while I get frustrated. I love doing this show and all my talk shows on my radio station, but I don't get the responses that I really want. And I want calls. I want to be able to get interaction. I want to get people calling my programs, you know? I try to do that here. I'm not belly aching, okay? And I try not to upset my wife with it too much. So I say on the air here that I want responses from my radio audience, and I get 0 on my listeners on here. Because when I get a 1, it looks like somebody's listening, but then I go to my, they're listening to the podcast, but they're not listening live. I'm thinking of seriously going just podcast for a while. Only because I'm not getting the live responses anyhow. You know? I'm not getting anything listening live. I'm seriously thinking about just doing podcasts for a while. Because I'm looking here over the past 3 parts of my show, and it's 0s across the board. I look at my stats for this program. Last night I was looking at stats for this station, and I'm getting very, very low on. So come on, people. I know you're out there. I know you are.
Let's scroll through social media.
Okay? And I really would love to hear from you. So come on, give me a call in the next segment. I'll be right back with more Sports Page in our final part in moments. Stay with me. Be right back.